angry Paul throughout.
Yeah, I just, I might as well just embrace it at this point. I don't even know why I fight it.
No,
Just
no,
let
I'm
the anger
angry.
flow.
I
Oh,
mean,
you're
you're
angry.
angry, but I'm angry today.
Oh, good. What's wrong with you?
It's supposed to snow.
Yeah.
1 to 2 inches of the white devil. Mind you, last Saturday it was 75 freedom units outside. We enjoyed the entire day outside. Both cars washed, did some yard work, and now
Well, you know how spring
anger.
is, right? It comes in like a little bitch. it's just the it's just the way it is. You know? Too much.
I don't know. I mean, it kind of.
So same here. I mean, we weren't here for it, but 70s over the weekend. It snowed the other day. It's going to be actually kind of warm today, but it's going to be freezing again over the weekend. I think we're far enough over to the east that we're not going to get snow, but yeah,
Just
we
two
don't have these
inches
clean breaks.
of uselessness. I'm over the snow. I'm ready for
Yes, right.
shorts, grass cutting, flowers, allergies. Not mosquitoes. Not mosquitoes.
Allergies. I miss allergies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other things that are wrong with my brain this morning.
Hmm.
There's no rationale behind this, Paul, but I kind of want one of those new iPads.
Really?
Yeah. Well, we have one iPad. It's whatever the
Yeah.
old one that my kid uses, and let me tell you, this thing is in, and I think it's called a Beetle case.
Okay.
It is 3 times the width and security
You can
of
like
the
bounce it
actual
off the
iPad.
ground and it's fine.
Yeah, like it feels like it has a resistive
No,
touch.
you mean an iPad Air?
I don't even know what it is. It's the
Yeah.
old
So,
iPad. It's the original iPad, like the $299 one.
oh, I'm sorry. Okay, because they just announced a new Air, and I have the previous gen, which is based on some A something chipset. It's good. It's fine. It's nice. There's no reason to upgrade to an M1 anything. Who cares? But yeah. Oh, you mean like just the base iPad? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm trying to figure out. What that one's is it just called the base? It's just
It's
called
just
the
called
iPad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Anyways, and I'm not gonna
What prompted
order
this?
it. I looked at it. I was like, oh, that looks kind of nice.
Jeez.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not going.
They're
There's
nice.
no reason.
That's great.
There's no reason for it. There's none.
I got to write up this thing. I got to figure out the background of this, but Google was. See, I don't remember the details of it. So a job posting or something like somehow Google recently had come to the conclusion that tablets were the future of computing. And I guess in a recent video, something they elaborated on this, and basically their feeling is, like, belatedly, because they sold they sold multiple tablets actually. They're really going after the Android tablet market again.
All right, so Apple and Tim Apple can just go live with the snow. I just pulled it up. It's like, okay, how much would an iPad Air be that I would want to get?
that you would want to get, like for yourself.
Yeah, like to use.
$500, probably 500.
No, $749.
Oh, what are you looking at?
Buy iPad Air.
Oh, Air. Yeah, no, those are expensive. I mean,
Yeah.
so the iPad Air is like, you know how there's Toyota, and then there's Lexus, and Lexus makes low end cars that are kind of expensive, and Toyota makes high end cars that are kind of expensive, and there's a weird overlap in there.
Yeah, that Toyota.
So the
Avalon.
iPad Air is in that middle category between the base models and then the high end Pros. So it's got the look of the Pro, colors, which the Pro doesn't really do. I know there's 2 colors, but they do actual colors, right? I think it's a handsome machine.
You're a handsome
The
machine.
one I bought was probably, I bet it was $500 when I bought it. I was probably something like that. But I mean, I'm sure I traded something in, and I didn't upgrade the RAM or anything, or the storage rather.
See, that's the problem. Is for 600 bones, $600 dues,
Yeah.
64 gigs of memory. Which,
Yeah, it's not a lot. Well, but I sort of did the math on that because for a long time I was upgrading the storage. And the reason I was doing that was because I travel with it. I wanted to download movies and stuff. But I buy a lot of content through Apple. And that content, it's very difficult or impossible to download it to an iPad in a kind of a space-saving way. Like they're very big files.
Yeah.
And what I found in recent years is that the best thing for me to do is to just forget about that and download stuff from Netflix or from any other service that lets you download. Those downloads are tiny. So like on my 64 gig iPad, I didn't look at the storage, but I had 7 or 8 movie choices from Netflix, and they no problem at all on 64 gigs, You're thinking maybe of your kid for trips or something, or
No,
what?
just for me, just for laying on the couch.
Oh, you don't need that much storage. Seriously, you could get away without it.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
I do. I mean, I've had it for a long time.
No. Not the storage thing. Like, it's $600 plus tax. So you're looking like
it's expensive.
30, yep. 600.
But you want that. You want that look. You don't want the big bezel thing from the traditional iPad, right?
Well, yeah, I can't have other people walking in my house thinking I'm a peasant, Paul Thurrott.
Wow. All right, so I can't help you with that. But how much is an iPad Mini? Is that too small? That's gonna be.
I don't. What am I doing? I have a Surface Pro 8 in this bag. Like, it's just. This is dumb. Like, I don't need to be doing
I
this.
honestly assumed this came into your head because you watched the Apple event. And
I did. Well, I was watching. I was like, wow, man, it would be kind of nice to just be able to lay on the couch and not have to use my phone, use something a little bit bigger, whatever. I'm about to spend multiple thousands of dollars on a vacation. I should probably not go drop another $700 on a iPad, logically.
Yep. On a thing that's like would be nice to have.
Yeah, it's not even nice to have. Like, I would just leave it on the couch and then use it whenever.
Yeah.
Whatever. Speaking of things, so we had a parent teacher conference last night, and we go there, and you know, it was they call it student led parent teacher conference, which whatever. So my kid shows us all this stuff, and then to distract the kids so we can actually talk to the teacher, they go grab a laptop out of the drawer thing or cabinet, and they're like, wait a minute, what are you using? Her class uses Surface Go 3s.
Really?
Yeah.
Is this some kind of a punitive measure? Did
well, so then I'm like my wife can see me going looking, and she's like, what are they? And the teacher's like, oh, I think they're a Microsoft things. And my wife just looks at me, and I could she didn't have to say it,
right?
But I could feel her being like, don't go into your spiel. Don't go into the spiel about how you know about Surface stuff. You wrote a book. You used to do all this. Like, the people who like I could just feel her, and I'm just like, oh, these are nice little things.
We were so this came up recently in the premium newsletter. I not for the first time probably. I wrote about this experience. We'd gone to Paris with our daughter, and I freaked out in front of a sign at the Père Lachaise cemetery because it wasn't ordered the way I would have done it, and I just immediately erupted into this thing. And then Stephanie explained why it was the way it was, and I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. I totally scaled it down, And my daughter was like, what the hell just happened? Like, what is happening? She's looking. She's like, did anyone else see that? So we were in Mexico, this past week, and we're sitting up at a rooftop bar thing. It was beautiful. And I actually don't remember what it was that set me off, but something happened, and I was like, I literally started to, I don't know if I raised my hand, but I tensed up to utter some stupidity, and my wife just squeezed my knee like this a little bit, and she's like, it's okay. And I was like, is this what we've become? Like, this is like, she just totally this. She's like, just don't do it. Just don't do it.
Well, Paul,
thank God we have wives, dude. How mental would we be?
Oh, insane!
They left their own devices. How stupid.
I would have blown the whole teacher conference telling this poor third grade teacher who does not care at all.
And he wasn't even sure it was Microsoft.
Yeah, she was like this Microsoft. Like, she would have gotten 20 minutes of the background and history of this Surface product. How Microsoft doesn't even manufacture it, has been outsourced to an ODM. Just completely useless information. And she would have been like, yeah, but your kids' math scores are pretty good.
Your kid's doing fine. You've used up all your time and the time of the next family.
Like, I told my wife we're going there. It's like, all we need to make sure is she's not the one who eats the paste. Like, as long as
Hey, you got to tell me about Clipchamp because
oh god,
I have a couple of thoughts on this. But I looked at it on a non-dev channel. I just downloaded it the normal way because it's whatever, it's on the web or something. And then I just this morning finally looked at it from the dev channel, and actually the apps are a little different somehow. I was surprised by that, but I have a major concern. But I'm curious. So did you actually end up using it?
No. So I popped through. You may remember I sent you a clip. I think it was yesterday of John Malkovich screaming "F Microsoft." I also tweeted this out. You can go find it on the Twitters. It's quite worth watching. So I'm like, yes. At the end of yesterday's episode, I was like, I'm going to go edit this thing on Clipchamp because it is included with Windows 11. So
I see where this went south.
So I opened it. Like, the app was there. I didn't have to. Like, it was just there. I'm like, great. So and then it says asks you to sign into your Microsoft account. I'm like, all right, this is whatever. So I do that. And then I get it all set up.
Well, but think about it. I mean, in a logical world, You sign into your Microsoft account. You have a Microsoft 365 account. Obviously, you're going to get all the premium features. But please continue. What really happened?
So I get it all up there, and I'm like, all right, I got it edited, got it cleaned up. It's real simple editing, what I do for this podcast, whatever. And I go to export it. And it's like, well, how would you like to export that, Mr. Sams? Would you like it in 480p? That is free. If you would like it in 1080p, you're looking at about $20 per month.
$20 a month. Yeah,
and that's when I went to John Malkovich, and I just went, Myers, just screamed at my house.
To be fair, this could change. Although actually, I think the Clipchamp icon is just in Windows 11. I don't think you need to be in the dev channel. But the announcement about them putting it into Windows, it's going to be an inbox app. I mean, it's possible they'll do what I think they should do, which is if you're paying for a Microsoft 365 account, give you the full boat premium version. But yeah, I mean, if this is an additional,
however,
I know, but
as of right now, you can you get 480p for free. Who is watching? Like, if I want to send my grandmother something to watch on her CRT TV, maybe that's fine. But who is exporting in 480p?
Even for TikTok, it's probably not fine.
The best part is called, they have a creators tier, whatever you want to. They also had a creators update. We won't go there. But the creators tier exports at 720p. 720p. Yeah. Like who? What?
I know. It doesn't make any sense. It's yes. You're right. 1080p is $19.99 a month. And then there's a more expensive tier. I can't remember. I think they had some kind of stock video.
Yeah, you can get
a library
stuff,
something like that, which is probably $29.99 a month. Yeah, guys, I don't think that's yeah. So this is awful. I don't like the Mac. Like, I just don't like the Mac. I've tried it again and again. I've owned, like I keep saying, I've owned so many Macs, but I did recently test iMovie, and I got to tell you, that app works great.
Yeah,
it's free.
How much per month is that, Paul?
Anything. How much is it?
Yeah, per month.
It doesn't cost a thing. I mean, it costs you your soul because you're using an Apple product, but
this is true.
It requires a Mac. But man, does it work well. Movie Maker, whatever versions of it you want to talk about, going all the way back to the first one in Windows Me to Windows Live Movie Maker in the mid 2000s, whatever, was a fantastic app as well. It worked great. Look, like I said, for now, I will give them the benefit of the doubt, but the situation as of now, as you say, is completely unacceptable. If it was $9.99 a month for everything, okay. You know what? Okay. If that's important to me and, whatever, I guess I could see that, but that needs to be the top. And if you have a Microsoft 365 paid subscription, you shouldn't be paying for this thing. That doesn't make any sense. I hope that changes.
Yep. I don't know if it will. There's a CNBC interview with Amy Hood. This came out a couple days ago where she talks about how she doesn't talk about Windows enough.
You know what? I've actually been trying not to talk about this.
Yeah.
That woman can go herself. That is infuriating.
Yeah.
When you said, like, if you or I were having a conversation and you said, wow, it seems like Microsoft has really woken up to Windows again, I would have said it's inconceivable that this company didn't understand how important this product was. It's inconceivable. It was still generating several billions of dollars in revenue every quarter consistently forever. It's a cash cow. It's an ATM machine. But then she blurts that out. Do you understand how stupid that makes her look? The CFO of Microsoft, who has the spreadsheet of all the businesses, had no idea. Had no idea. That makes her look dumb. That makes me freaked how dumb that makes her look.
The thing that makes me concerned. She should be the smartest
person in the room.
She's smart,
right? I'm sure she is.
She's done a good job, but the thing that has me concerned now is that the executives in that circle are looking down, going, "Wow, Windows is pretty durable. How can we turn the economic lever?"
Turn up exactly. So I just wrote about this. One of the things that the Office team did back in the very early 2000s, maybe even the late 90s, I guess, is they started making more product editions of Office to suit different markets, which kind of makes sense on some level. But at some point, like if you look at like Office 2007, there's like 14 different ways you could buy this thing. It was crazy. And the reason they did that was not, and Apple used to make fun of it. Remember, we only have one version of everything, and it sounds great for consumers as it is, but it worked. Like financially, that made sense. What they found was when presented with a bunch of choices, consumers or individuals would tend to go for one of the premium options. If you went to someone and you said, hey, we have something called Windows Vista Basic, but we also have something called Windows Vista Home Premium, they'd be like, oh, no, I need that one. And they'd be like, great, because that one's going to give us more money. And they did this to Windows, and that's what happened. Windows Vista infamously, Starter, Home Basic, Home Premium, Business, Ultimate, Enterprise, whatever. On and on it goes. Well, we're in a different era now. So how do you milk money out of a product line like this today? You add subscriptions everywhere. Which is why you're saying you think Clipchamp's not going to change. And unfortunately, I think you're probably right. But I also think it's a mistake just because they're not going to attract customers that way. If you said, look, Clipchamp is part of Microsoft 365. Now, this thing that I have already described many times as just being a no-brainer becomes even more of a no-brainer. I think that's the right way to go. Obviously, I think that way, and I think. By the way, I think we're heading to a big price increase on Microsoft.
That's where I was going to head it next. Is I could see them doing this, but to your point, there's either another tier that says, look, and video editing.
That's right. And if family, as they call it now, is $100 a year, maybe this one's $150 a year or something like that. And I just see it happening. It's going to happen. There's no. I hope. I would be okay with that because seriously, the value of Microsoft 365, the apps, the storage, is off the charts. And you add this kind of thing, for the people that need that. They could call it Microsoft 365 Ultimate, and they could have extras. But I know what Alex Kipman is doing these days. He's probably not that busy based on what I see over in that part of the country.
Oh, jeez.
God. Anyway, I don't know.
I was just thinking too. They could. They should call it the Ultra, just to join
Ultra.
the Samsung and Apple family. But toss Game Pass in there. Get it all in.
Yes, there you go. Exactly. Right. The all-up Microsoft subscription that people have been asking for.
Man, that would be expensive, though. Probably
Apple has Apple One, right? I just talked about SKUs. I mean, do you apply it to online or to subscriptions? I mean, look, I mean, like Apple One, what people really want is to pick in the 2 or 3 they really want, and they want to pay something less. And obviously. So obviously Apple knows that, and that's exactly what they're not offering, right? So they want you to start using these other things and maybe get addicted to them or get used to them or whatever it is. And there's an option, there's a path forward there for Microsoft, I think, right? To combine the consumer and productivity stuff.
It would have to be like $349.
I mean,
maybe a little
for
less.
everything you say, yeah. So, right. So Game Pass Ultimate is what?
Maybe $299.
Yeah. 100. I mean, I don't know. I feel like if you get those two, if it's $99.99 and then this video thing, you could kind of get away with like $199 if you pay for a year.
If it was $199, I think that would be super tempting.
Yeah. I mean, for a certain group, you still have to offer the other things by themselves.
Oh,
right?
yeah, for sure.
A lot of people don't want that stuff. But yeah, I mean, that's how you monetize Windows, right? And then Windows just is free basically, and we don't worry about that stuff. And I think that it makes sense. I mean, I know some people are probably freaking out just listening to those numbers.
Probably, but who knows? Programming note: we head to the office next week, so we're back sometime next week.
Well, I'll do what I always do, which is that on Monday morning, I will sit down here, turn on my stupid light, put my headphones in, and I'll be working on stuff, and I'll look at the clock, and it'll be like 9:05, and I'll be like, "Hi, that's odd." Brad usually calls me. Oh, that's what I do because I forget.
At least you're thinking about me.